The Sun Also Rises, Ernest Hemingway's first and most notably other book. Still considered an American classic after it was published in 1954, it still wows audiences in the Americas and all over the world today. In this book, main character Jake Barnes takes Lady Brett Ashley, the love of his life, and her almost husband Mike Campbell, Bill Gorton, and Robert Cohn to Spain to see the bullfights. The entire time that they are in Spain, there is a fiesta happening. They go to dinners, they have brunch, they watch the bulls, and they end up meeting a bullfighter themselves, named Pedro Romero, a beautiful 19-year-old bullfighter that Lady Brett Ashley also falls in love with. Even before all the fun begins in Spain with all the friends, Robert Cohn and Jake Barnes also go fishing on their way to Spain. On the train ride to Spain, Robert Cohn and Jake Barnes also meet a couple of new friends. They drink together, have laughs, and have a good time all together. In this book, most of the main characters are authors or writers, which is very important because Ernest Hemingway was just starting out. This shows how much Ernest Hemingway was aspiring to be an author himself, and boy did he succeed. This book happens right after World War I, also known as a time called the Lost Generation. In the 1920s, the booming 20s also known as, everybody was very happy that the war was over and that money was booming. Everybody was becoming very rich and they all wanted to celebrate it. This book, averaging a 3.8 out of 5 stars on Goodreads.com and a 4 out of 5 star rating on BarnesandNoble.com, is an American classic. I personally rated it 4 stars on Goodreads because I believe it was one of the best books I've ever read to have been published before the 1960s. Some reoccurring themes, motifs, and symbols throughout this book are bullfighting, excessive drinking, and the theme of love in the 1920s. While Jake is obsessing over Lady Brett Ashley, she also has other suitors following her as well, that being Mike Campbell, Robert Cohn, and Pedro the bullfighter. Excessive drinking is another theme that is shown throughout this book. They are always getting drunk together, and sometimes it makes a turn for the worse. After Jake says something about Lady Brett Ashley, Robert Cohn indeed attacks him and he knocks him out because he used to be a wrestler. The friends always go to see the bullfights and get really good seats and know exactly what they're talking about. When they see the riding of the bulls, they are up front and center, and it is one of their favorite activities to do. I personally would recommend this book to anyone that asked me. It is a very good book, and it's entertaining, educational, and it's just a great read. You should read it.